What's going on, guys? Fin on Fire here, back with another video by request of Gina over in Markiplier Rock. Gonna do a little bit of what I know so far on Govalwi, which is golems, Valkyrie, and wizards. And this can be combined with a queen walk. You can throw some giants in there. You can mix up the spells a little bit. I just got my Valkyries to level 5, so I'm still kind of toying around with different combinations, and I've watched some other YouTube and just kind of see how people are using their spells. And uh, so I'll show you. I used it on both war attacks last war. Very fairly successful. I got a 2-star and a 3-star on a couple of Town Hall 10s. I'm going to show you the 2-star first, and then we'll kind of go through some of the points there. So the main thing and the hardest thing on some bases is, but you want to get the Valkyries into the core as soon as possible because they will just tear up the core. And once the core's gone, there just really isn't enough firepower for the rest of the base to really, take out a lot of the Valkyries. Especially if you're going with 17 Valks like I did for the war attack. Normally on my multiplayer, I only go with 12, and I even 3-star some Town Hall 10s with just 12. So um, I also decided to go with 3 rage spells and 2 haste. Some of the things I was watching on this is more of an experiment. Some of the things I was watching on YouTube really just focused on the Val's speed, and that you didn't have to have the free spell, because if you could get them to the core quickly and they could take out the infernos and everything very quickly, the rage and the speed that it gives you will help you blast through that so quickly you won't really need the free spell. So obviously, this wasn't a 3-star, so it didn't work superbly well, but we'll kind of get into it here. I believe I do have a golem in the clan castle as well. So, just wait for it to get started here. I think I just blew out one of the corners here. I also didn't really worry too much about the clan castle. If it's going to be ground troops, the Valkyries are going to wipe those out very, very quickly. If it's a hound, it's just going to chase your Valkyries around pretty much. So it's going to be pretty, pretty easy to deal with. So in thinking about the funnel, I want to try to eliminate some things here and eliminate some things here, because I want my Valkyries to kind of go on this path straight, hopefully, and get some of them into the middle. Because I know if they take these 2 targets here, the next closest one's going to be the Expo, so that should get them into the middle. So drop a few wizards here, a few wizards there. In retrospect, I probably should have started on the opposite side, so I could have taken care of those um, those outer cannon, that outer cannon and archer tower that he had there. It might have made this go a little bit smoother, but normally I do like to try to punch a few holes in, but to conserve space, I only decided to take 2 wall breakers. But all in all, it's going fairly well. So drop the haste spell. Again, decided to go with no freeze, and I'm basically just going to spam, my spells to get them, powered through this core. And you can see just how quickly, I mean, that was what, 5-6 seconds, just blew through the core. Another rage spell to power through the wall. You can see most of the Valkyries are kind of getting close to their end of life here. And I would have been in a good position if I had, been able to get those golems kind of out ahead. But unfortunately, my heroes got targeted by those outer defenses there. In retrospect, if I would have brought a couple of back end loons to take those out, it probably would have been a 3-star. Well, probably maybe not. There was still a lot of stuff to get through. So, um, but I mean, the big thing was my Valkyries didn't really get much further than the core because they were almost dead. So I kind of decided after trying it this way that I wanted to do a different spell combination because I just didn't feel that this was the right one. And that rage spell didn't help me. I should have waited probably to see, where the golems were going to go. But yeah, didn't work out too well. But still a good 2-star and an easy 2-star. Pretty effortlessly. Again, it's just trying to get the Valkyries to get into the core as soon as possible. And now my next one here. Again, same idea. I was a little bit worried about trying to get all the Valkyries into the core. As you can see, I've got a little bit different spell composition. And I've also brought a few backhand hogs, which I actually just ended up using for funneling. And I decided to only go with 2 golems this time as well. I just felt like the last attack I had, 2 full-size golems, both at very low health, but having 2 golems left at the end of a battle probably means that you could have gone with 1 less golem and gone with something different. So decided to change it up. So changed the spells up, added the hogs in, a couple less wizards, and then 1 less golem. So again, this is something important too. The reason why I chose this corner is because the expo is right in the corner. If I had chosen this corner or this corner, it may have been a little bit tougher to get the target to go internal, to go into that core there. And again, I'm just going to try to do the same thing. I'm going to bring the golems wide here. Sorry, I've got the sniffles, so I'm just kind of getting over a cold here. So the golems are in, got the few wizards trickling in. Didn't really accomplish a lot, and of course my wall breakers get blown up, so I'm not really sure kind of how this is going to work out. I'm trying to be patient. I use the hogs to kind of help out with the funnel there, and then fortunately what happens is they start to go left, but then the clan castle troops sort of take precedence, and then about a handful of them go into the core. So the fact that they split up, this actually worked out fairly well. And on a ring base, I think in the future, and by ring base I mean a base with a center core and a ring of crap around it. But I like the fact that they split up because this way I have ones that are going to be out of the core and then ones that are going to be in the core. And even if these ones get trapped, it's not going to kill my attack because I have the majority of the Valks outside of the core. So got a little bit lucky getting them to the core there. And I wanted to try to get my free spells down as soon as they're getting into the core there. So I want basically, this is probably the most critical part, is dropping both free spells, a rage spell, and you could actually use a heal spell, and you're basically going to stack them all in the core. So 1 free spell, rage spell, second freeze. I don't know where did I only bring 1 free spell? Yeah, I decided to go with 1 freeze and 2 rage, I guess. Lately, I've been going with 2 freeze, 1 heal, 1 rage. It all kind of just depends. So I like the 1 freeze just to give those Valks a little bit of a breather. I think 2 freeze is kind of a little bit overkill. But I mean, once that core's down, there's absolutely nothing that is going to stop this from happening. And I mean, they had crappy walls, but I mean, just absolutely shredded. Absolutely shredded this base. I mean, there was just nothing that was going to stop those Valkyries. All the defenses were so close together on that outer ring. Just absolutely ripped through them. So we'll just speed this up here. And again, like I said, you can play around with different spell combinations. Like I said, that time I did. You can sub out the haste maybe for a heal spell. That might be the way to go. So you have, maybe you can save the Valks in the core a little bit longer, and also kind of, if things go awry, you also have a chance to keep your Valks alive a little bit longer as well. Definitely would recommend a heal spell, especially if you're going up against single target Inferno towers. It's going to be a little bit easier to use because you won't have the multi-target Infernos negating the heal spell. So I just want to kind of replay the what happened in the core again real quickly. So probably could have split my hogs up a little bit more to try to help this this funnel go through. So again, got a little bit lucky here. Didn't want to speed it up that much. But, I mean, basically you can see one freeze down, one rage down, and the second rage is going to go down here. So, I mean, and if you had a heal, you probably want to drop that too. But it kind of depends on where the majority of your Valks are. But this is a relatively large core. Some of the more compact ones, you can, again, stack the spells a little bit more together. And, I've seen some pretty successful attacks that they do both freeze, the rage, and the heal down in the center of the core, so that, while the freeze is down, you can heal your Valks up, and then the rage will help them, blow through the core. So that's kind of the way that I like doing it now, but this way worked as well. And on 4 times, it's just like the plague. Definitely suggest getting your Valks up. I'm sure they're going to get nerfed back down because they are a little overpowered, but it's definitely a lot of fun. So hope you enjoyed, hope you learned a thing or two, and once I kind of learn more and have some more experience with it, I will try to make another one. Thanks for watching, guys, and Fin on Fire out.